right, Yak Gang, let's go. Today I wanted to review some Armagnacs, and particularly some Armagnacs picked by the Aficionados Group, which I'm not one of the upper level people who does the picking, but I am up on their Discord. I hang out with those folks a lot. Basically, I wanted to see if I wanted to buy a full bottle of any of these before they went out of stock. So we've got 3 Armagnacs from L'Encantada and 1 Armagnac from Grosperrin, which is very, very interesting. And I am super duper pumped to see how these are. Now, the aficionados picks tend towards the, how should I put this, the woodier side of things, which I'm sometimes in the mood for. But it can get a little much sometimes. But I'm eager to see what they got here. So we're gonna get these poured. Now, I will say so the L'Encantados are, I expect to be very, very fun. In some ways, the one I am most intrigued about is the Grosperrin, this 1985 from Michaud, from the Ténarèze, actually. Because the previous Armagnac pick they did with Grosperrin, a 1996, was absolutely phenomenal and a great little value. You definitely had some wood on it, but also had a ton more going on. So yeah. I think 3 of these, the L'Encantadas, are available through Baytowne. 1 is available through Fine Drams. And yeah, let's go. So first up is Lous Mouracs from 1981. This is cask number 25. I will put further information down below. I think this is a Ténarèze, actually. 48.5% alcohol. We're just going to go up in order of strength. So yeah, we've got a L'Encantada versus Grosperrin Armagnac Negociant battle. Look at the color on this. Jesus. Looks like motor oil. So let's get going on the nose. Yeah. Big, big, woody Armagnac style. French oak coming out of its ears. So yeah, what have we got? We have got prunes. We have got figs. We have got furniture from the ancient regime that's been chopped up and fed into wood chipper. We have got some balsamico, like really expensive, nice balsamico, the real stuff. We have got a little bit of like a musty cellar thing, with like maybe a mushroom or 2 growing every so often. Overstewed English breakfast tea. A little bit of, I already said figs, didn't I? Well, on top of the figs, a little bit of fig molasses. I need a haircut, don't I? I need to just, take an hour out of my day and go get a haircut. I apologize. I look like a mess. I'm sorry. There's a coffee. No, not a coffee thing. What is that? Actually, it's Coca-Cola. That is it. It is absolutely Coca-Cola notes. So yeah, like just drop a whole bunch of dried fruit and chop up furniture in some Coca-Cola. That's a lot of what this smells like. Yeah, it's got that kind of limey thing that Coca-Cola does. Like, yeah, totally. Vanilla. It's not as peppery as I would have expected from this style, but there's definitely a little bit of white pepper in there. Cinnamon. Touch of nutmeg. Yeah, it smells like an old woody Armagnac. I am not missing this in a blind. On the palate, here we go. Very straight down the middle, Lencantata profile, but it's leaning more in the fruity direction, which I appreciate. Definitely brings some drying wood in the back end. Again, overstewed breakfast tea, a little bit of eucalyptus, like a little bit of a drying effect, of a cooling effect, I'm sorry. That chopped up furniture thing coming through on the back end. And a little bit of like stoved red Virginia tobacco as well. Towards the front, got all the dried fruit, figs, prunes, raisins, dried cherry. Now that I think of paying attention to the Coca-Cola thing, it is so obvious. Like straight up Coca-Cola, really mixed with the dried fruit thing, just absolutely dominates the arrival into the mid palate, which I'm okay with. I'm really digging that kind of touch of lime in there, cinnamon again, hint of clove, vanilla, a lot of black pepper. It's long finish. I mean, it's the tannins are definitely gripping, but also like that. There's that cooling effect and a little bit of the fruitiness. That kind of dried fruit limey thing is also sticking around, which is what I want to see. I don't want to just be chewing on tannins in the finish. I want other things to be going on. That's a nice pepper. Solid mouthfeel. Good mouth length. Yeah. Very. I mean, if you know the Lencantata profile, this is definitely kind of right in there, but it is tending more towards like a fruitier, but yeah, Coca-Cola-y side of that, which I appreciate. It's a little bit different. I think I like this. Give this a squirt of water. If I can get a squirt of water. I'm gonna do like it's 48.5, right? I'm gonna do like a squirt and a third. I'm really curious to see if this brings up the mouthfeel a little bit, because that's, aside from being maybe a hair bit textbook, the mouth presence, the mouthfeel is the only thing I would really complain about with this. It's a nice Armagnac. All right, moving on. We got a pair of Lassalles. We're going to start with a 1992. This is a 28-year-old, cask 102, again for aficionados, bottled at 51.2%. And Lassalle, I think, is Bas-Armagnac. I think we're moving into Bas-Armagnac now. All right. See what we got on the nose. A little bit more muted on the nose. I'm getting more coffee character on this. You know, like kind of a. It's a mix of coffee. Like there's a little bit of like a brighter Ethiopian coffee thing in there, but there's also like a darker, like grungy Sumatra thing in there going on at the same time. Black pepper, chopped up furniture again. Golden raisin creeping through. Touch of like stewed peach. Huh. Like an idiot, I didn't write down the grape content of this, but this is pushing, very gently pushing more in like a cognac-y direction with the kind of peachiness, the stone fruit elements. Yeah, it still smells like a hell of a lot of oak in there. English breakfast tea, cinnamon. Tobacco again, but it's more like a really kind of dark burley flake. So kind of nutty at the same time. Again, we're not really leaving the the comfort zone of the L'Encantada flavor profile. It smells very, very woody. But yeah, like those some of those little details, the brighter stone fruity characters is kind of it's making me interested. Let's see what happens on the palate. Ooh. Yeah, so there's a lot of woodiness going on, but it's really, I think the core of this is take some like canned stewed peaches and then put a whole bunch of cinnamon and black pepper on them and then put them on your mouth, and that's a lot of what is going on here. It's like very peppery, peachy, yeah, raisins creeping in, a little dried apricot as well. Figs, like stone ground dark chocolate. Prunes, some sweet tea happening. It's a little bit of an easier drinker than the, at least on first contact, than the Mouracs. It's the oak is definitely there. It's definitely present, but the sense of fruitiness, and there's even a little bit of a floral thing going on. Just a couple of maybe like I was gonna say no, like a little dab of rose water in there, just for fun. Just kind of brightening it up, making it a little bit more friendly to drink. I don't know. Good finish, good mouthfeel, good length. That coffee element is still kind of there. That mix of like, you made a mostly like Ethiopian, maybe some Kenyan blend, but then at the last minute you threw some Sumatra in. It's something like that. I like it. A little bit nutty as well. That kind of burly thing. Nice pick. No complaints. Add some water. Do 2 squirts. I'm getting up into the low 50s now. All right, moving on to another Lassalle. This one is actually older. It's a 1988, 36 years old. And by the way, these are not going to be cheap because, like, I don't know, it's hard to find really old, cheap Armagnac anymore, but it's also not going to be that expensive for the age that these are at. Cask 136, bottled at 52.5% alcohol. All right, on the nose. Also kind of muted compared to the compared to the Mourac, but even compared to the 92. What is that? It smells a little bit like coconut dark chocolate or something, like coconut, like dark chocolate that's been infused with a little bit of coconut in there, or maybe like you've just smeared some coconut oil on it. It smells dark. There's that kind of fig molasses note there again, a little prune. English breakfast tea again. It's black pepper, yeah. I mean, it's not as forthcoming on the nose as the last couple of glasses. Or maybe my nose is just getting tired. I don't know. Come on. The more I swirl this, the more that kind of like peppery, cinnamony peach thing comes out. But yeah, it's still kind of faint compared to the 88 or the 92. I'm sorry. On the palate. Again, it feels both woodier and kind of more muted um, than the previous Lassalle. Well, let me try. Let me give this a second shot. Yeah, it's a similar kind of profile. There's some nice fruit going on. Um, Apricot, peach, nectarine, raisins, figs, but it's all kind of behind this wall of like black pepper, some cinnamon, some cardamom, and just kind of like French oak, like just like woodiness, like furniture notes. Um, a lot of like coffee grounds. Don't ask me what kind of coffee grounds, just some, like used coffee grounds. I'm having a tricky time narrowing this or kind of wrapping my head around this one because yeah, it's just a lot of the non-structural, non-oaky notes just feel like they've kind of toned down a little bit. It's still got a long finish, big mouth feel, long length, but a lot of that is really dominated by just the woodiness of it. So it's lacking a little bit of complexity and balance compared to the previous glass. I'm not sure. I want to add water to this and see how it reacts. Still a nice Armagnac. Let's give this some water. 1, 2. And the lone Grosperrin of the group. So L'Incantada is really known as an Armagnac negociant. That's not really the case with Grosperrin. They mainly work in cognac, and most of the bottlings you'll see coming out of them are cognac. They buy from producers there. That being said, when I have tried Armagnac from them, it's very, very often been fantastic. So I am super duper pumped to try this. This is the Michaud, which I guess is the producer. I'm not really sure the story behind this. I will put what I can find down below. 1985, so going on 27, 28 years old. Also from the Ténarèze, 54% alcohol by volume. This is numbered C/D6. Okay. Whatever, it's a Grosperrin Ténarèze Armagnac. Let's see what happens on the palate, on the nose. Ooh. What is happening there? A little bit more high-toned. Interesting. Yeah, there's like a fresh berries with like brown sugar on top kind of thing happening, and like real brown sugar, not like the regular sugar that's just had a coating of molasses. This is like the real stuff. Like you've paid your money for actual proper brown sugar. Darjeeling tea, prunes, raisins, definitely raisins. Overall, kind of fruitier than the last couple of glasses, but in a different direction. This is more berry driven, or than stone fruit driven, or even like dried fruit driven. Yeah, there's just some like fresh berry kinds of things. Actually, you know what? Let's go back to coffee for a second. You know how like some coffees from like I don't know, Costa Rica comes to mind for some reason, have almost a berry smell, but it's not really berries. It's like coffee berries. That's kind of what this is doing. This smells like light roast berry driven coffee beans. Oh, that's totally what this is. There's some floral elements as well. Not rosewater this time. It's just a mix of like it's just a whole flower shop in here. There's some pepper, but overall the sense is very, very clean. There's definitely oak that is present, but it's not as in my face as it was with the L'Encantadas. Yeah, see what happens with the palate. Oh yeah. One more time. My first thought is like Darjeeling milk tea, something like that. Someone out there has to be making Darjeeling-based milk tea. I'm sure it's delicious, but that's kind of what comes to mind. This is friggin' delicious. Yeah. So Darjeeling milk tea, that kind of berry-driven coffee bean thing, that's in there. Black pepper, cinnamon, cardamom. Some kind of dried fruit. What is that? Maybe it's like some dried nectarine, even a little bit of like a dried mango thing. Allspice maybe. That floral character. If I had this in a blind, that the flowers might trick me up a little bit, push me in more of a cognac-y direction. No, the strength would give it away. This is just not strong enough to really suggest cognac for me. But it's we're leaning more in that direction, more towards like berries and aromatics and flowers more so than those heavy woody notes. This is actually a very fun flight for the contrast. Yeah, you've gone to Tiger Sugar milk tea. You've ordered the bubble tea with the kind of black sugar stuff on the bottom, but instead of like giving you the regular tea, they've given you like super overstewed, like super aromatic Darjeeling. And that's a lot of what's going on here. There's a little bit of nuttiness happening too, a little bit of like so you added a little bit of like really good Jim Beam stock into this. This is nice. I'm going to stop drinking this. Give it some water. We'll try it again. At least 3 squirts, right? All right, let's go back through. How is your day going? I'm getting to try like 4 really good Armagnacs. My day is going great. I'm really curious to see what some of these do now that I've added water. Again, the point of the water is not to weaken them down because I'm a wimp. I'm a wimp, but that's beside the point. The point is to see how these spirits react to, pressure. Water, airtime, all that stuff puts pressure on a spirit. And if good things happen, that tells you something about it. If bad things happen, that tells you something about it. If nothing happens, that also says something, right? So it's just like doing the due diligence to come back through after the addition of water. All right, back to the Mouracs. Mourac? Whatever. Actually fruities up a little bit. Really, it's the same set of fruits as before, right? We're talking figs and prunes and kind of darker dried fruits, dried cherries. But they've kind of accentuated themselves. They've stepped forward past the wood. So now really I'm getting the dried fruits, and then the wood is kind of an accent in the back, which is fine with me. That's awesome. That's kind of what I wish some of the Lencantadas would do more of. Just like let the fruit, let the other stuff speak a little bit more. Yeah, it smells. There's that little hint of mustiness, that little like one or two mushrooms in there. Lots of little things giving this color and character. On the palate, so what I was hoping for when I add water to this was that the mouth presence, the mouth feel, will kind of step up a notch, and it has. It absolutely has. It's now like coating my entire mouth with like fig and cardamom syrup, and I'm really enjoying it. Yeah, the fruit has really stepped forward. A little bit of clove. The cardamom is awesome. I mean, the wood is still absolutely present. It's still like grippy on the back end. That little cooling effect there, it's not basil. Did I say eucalyptus before? The eucalyptus, I guess. It's nice. It's very, very complex. I mean, it's hard to ask more from a woody old Armagnac than this. This is really nice. I mean, if you're buying a Lencantada, you know you're going to get wood. And to some extent, what you're looking for is just, okay, what else is there? What else is there beyond the wood? This has got a lot going on beyond the wood, and that is why I like it. I'm not going to score it into the stratosphere, but it's totally worth... I'm gonna do 89. Let's do 89 points for this. I can't find a 90, but it's darn good. I like this a lot. All right, moving on to the Lassalle 92. This is my favorite of the Lassalles on the first round. I'm really curious what the 88 does with the water. But let's hit the 92 first. Not a whole lot of change on the nose. It still has that kind of like stone fruit with like a little bit of floral, a little bit of cinnamon spice, and then like a kind of a background of wood kind of thing. Yeah, very kind of cinnamon sugar. There's a little bit of a cinnamon toast crunch thing going on. Did I mention the return to Coca-Cola on the... Actually, maybe that's the most remarkable thing is that on the Mouracs is that I wasn't getting Coca-Cola after I added water. So that's to its credit. Sorry, back to the Lassalle. But now on the Lassalle, I am getting a little bit of lime. A little bit of lime peel. Nice. This is not a ton development, but a little bit more fruit, a little bit of that lime thing is kind of new. Let's see what happens on the palate. That's also really nice, actually. Compared to the Mouracs, the Lassalle has actually stepped up its woodiness more with the addition of water. Yeah, no, I mean, this 92 Lassalle has gotten more woody, but it kind of pulls it off. I don't know how to. I'm not offended by the obnoxious amount of wood on this. It's actually, you know what this tastes like now? It tastes like a better version of what the 88 was doing, at least on the first taste through. So yeah, someone back in there. You've got a ton of fun stone fruit, and some lime peel in there as well. That wasn't in there before, but it's really like covered up with chopped up furniture, coffee grinds. Cinnamon, cardamom, spice, clove, allspice. Ooh, and the tannins are just ripping. Long, long, long finish. But this is a little bit more vivid than the 88 was before. Honestly, I think I liked it a hair bit more before I added water, but, you know, it's not... I'm still enjoying it right now. Quite a lot. What do I score this? It's in, like, 88 territory. Do I want to get more complex? No, I'll just give it an 88. 88 points for the Lassalle 92. That is very, very nice. On to the 88 Lassalle. So I'm really, really hoping the water opened this up a little bit because it needed it. Maybe a little bit more. There's a little bit more of like a coffee cake thing happening. Well, now that I've said it, that's kind of all I'm smelling. It's a lot of coffee cake. Maybe some like little apricot in there, little overstewed tea. I don't know. This one is not winning the fight for me. I mean, I'm enjoying the coffee cake kind of smell, but it feels like it feels like there should be more stuff there kind of coming out. It just isn't. It feels a little muted. It feels a little congested. All right, on the palate. It's nice. The finish is actually, with the addition of water, gets a little bit clipped. It's kind of, yeah, that's weird. It's like everything's going fine. I got a nice finish, but then it just kind of like, it just kind of like falls off a little bit. Huh. There's some things I like. I mean, this is an absolutely solid Armagnac. Lots of wood, lots of stewed tea, coffee grinds, dried fruit. A little hint of like nectarine in there, which is kind of keeping my interest. A little flower stuff happening as well. But overall, like the 4 years of extra wood just haven't done this any favors, in my opinion. So, score-wise, no, it's still good. I don't know. 86. Call this an 86. certainly not bad. Certainly not bad by any means, but just not up to the level of the rest of this flight. All right, and now the Grosperrin. All right. I really had some fun with this on the first run through. Let's see what happens on the nose. I mean, you can just see the difference in the house styles. This smells just more high tone, more floral. That little hint of like berry, which is actually coffee, but it's actually Armagnac. I guess the spiciness has come forward a little bit with the addition of water. A little bit more cinnamon, cardamom happening. But yeah, this is just a fruit profile I really like. On the palate, so this has now picked up a little bit of the Coca-Cola character that the Mouracs lost with the addition of water. Oh, the lime is kicking. Lots of flowers, fruit-driven coffee. Darjeeling. Just a really impressive mouthfeel. The finish is, it's not just the finish is long, but it's long and complex. It's got all kinds of flavors beyond just like wood tannins, which I'm really enjoying. The only question is, do I actually like this more than the Mouracs? Let me check. I'm going to go back to the Mouracs for a sec. So I'm a little bit surprised. So honestly, my bias going into this was to think a L'Encantada from 1981, so over 40 years old, was just going to be too woody, and I wouldn't enjoy it. Meanwhile, the Grosperrin, coming from a house that favors lighter style, that would be my jam. But no, I think these are actually like right on par with each other. So yeah, I'm gonna give the Grosperrin the same score. 89 points. 89 points. So what is the lesson to take away from this? Maybe if you're gonna buy a cognac, maybe I'm, with my attention to house and negociant, am just wrong to be doing that, and you should just buy a Ténarèze from the early 80s, and you'll be good. Yeah, that's how that worked out. Thanks for watching. What do we got here? 86 for the Lassalle 88. I want less wood and a little bit more to it. 86 for that. 92. Lassalle gets an 88. I like it more. I like the fruit. I like the little hint of floral. And the Lous Mouracs 81. And this Grosperrin Michaud 85. Both get an 89. Surprisingly for similar reasons. I guess I shouldn't be surprised. It's the same group picking it, right? And yeah, there we are. Thanks for watching and cheers.